Hello and welcome to my video. This is my Disney VHS tape covers. I have done 6 other videos with this series, starting with Basil the Great Mouse Detective, The Rescuer, Sleeping Beauty, Jungle Book, Aladdin, and Bambi. And here is Lion King. So before I get into the video, I got this idea from DeviantArt. My profile is on my link tree, which is in the link below. And I saw this from a user called ArtChanXV, who then states that they got the idea from edog818180 from the top 10 memes. But this is the Disney VHS tape covers. So onto this video. This is one of the earlier drawings that I created within this series. So when drawing, I didn't think how or which one I'd be posting first, and I just drew the ones that I was feeling that day. So the earlier couple drawings, videos, the quality of the drawing and the sketch is just a little bit down, in my opinion. So when I started my sketching process, like I normally do, I drew the shapes in a red line on top of the reference image, and then I draw them next to the reference image, but I do this on a different layer, a different layer from the reference image, so then I'm able to unsee and see or lower the opacity of that reference image, so I can see if I'm putting the right shapes down. And this allows me to just make sure I'm getting it right in my mind. So, and then I refine those shapes using the blue line. And I do these 2 steps, mostly I do it with using I use complementary colors. And this is where I go wrong in this section here. So I find a better way of doing this later on in some of the previous videos that you see me do. And because of this, I'm really thinking about whether I should just like redo the ones that I fudged up. And just comment below if you think I should redo these ones, or like the really messier ones, or or is it just me being thingy, Or you could do the opposite. You could be like, do you know what? Instead of redoing this one, why don't you do another one that I haven't done? And maybe we can just do a few more VHS tape covers than just the top 10. So comment below what you would like, and I'll try that out. I'd be well cool to do. So when I did finish the sketching progress in the previous video, I've been splitting the paper, the imaginary paper, in half. Then I could sort out the size of the image when I finished it out and stuff like that. So whereas in the first couple, I split the paper off in quarters, and it got messy. And I'm just so glad I found a better way to do this. But because I did it this way in the first couple of videos, the quality is bad. It's very pixelated by the end of it, because for some reason when I did the first couple, I did it as the paper size as an actual VHS size. So yeah, that's where I fudged up. I can explain that a little bit better if you'd like, in a different one, so I can tell you, I can actually show you what I did or not. But you could probably see it if you watch this one and one of the previous videos. Feel free to do that. Now, on to the title. The title is the only place that I do trace or copy properly, because I found that the titles are a lot harder to do, take the most time, and also I think personally the title is what really ties it all together. So yeah, what do you think? And then for this purple line right here, this is me trying to sort out what I did wrong and why it was so bad. I don't even know if I did it right, but yeah, so I'm sorry, but I do like it. It shows that I have progressed. So yeah. So on to some facts about the Lion King before we get onto coloring. So number 1, as I've said in previous videos, The Lion King wasn't always called The Lion King. This movie went through quite a few different titles, including The King of the Kalahari, and The King of the Jungle. And producer Don Hahn said, when I started working on The Lion King, the movie was called King of the Jungle. So King of the Jungle was a metaphor for the allegorical story about human behavior. And Han continued, we were thinking about the idea of how it's a jungle out there and Simba has to exist inside this jungle. However, there's no jungle in our story. They're out in a Sahara, but then we threw that out because we wanted to focus on a simpler story about a Lion King. And that is when someone thought at the stage, we thought, why not just call it The Lion King? Number two, so The Lion King's opening scene changed once the directors heard the story Circle of Life. So according to the making of Lion King featurette, the animated film's original opening scene featured a dialogue introduction introducing most of the main characters, but director Roger Allers and Rob Minkoff scrapped it when they heard the final version of Circle of Life. The Circle of Life filled opening scene was so powerful that it was just used as the trailer for the film. It marks the first time Disney has ever used a trailer using a complete scene. They also changed the relationship in The Lion King's original script, which featured Scar as a lone featured Scar as a lone lion, unrelated to Simba, who was in charge of the pack of the vicious bamboos. In this version, Rakifi was written as a cheetah, and Timon and Pumbaa were both friends with Simba from the start. So here's a couple of facts about the actors, which I'm going to count as one main fact. So 3A, Nathan Lane and Iri Sabella auditioned to play the hyenas. So Nathan and Ernie, I'm sure it's Ernie, who voiced Timon and Pumbaa respectively, originally auditioned to be hyenas. They came to the audition in New York and they bumped into each other in the lobby, which is when they discovered that they both was auditioning for the role of hyenas. And director Rob Minkoff said they asked the casting director if they could audition together, and they were hilarious as they read their lines, but it didn't seem right as the hyenas. Just didn't fit. So that's when they thought, what if we use them as Timon and Pumbaa? It'd be a perfect fit. Then 3B, James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair played married couples before, so this was welcome. So James Earl Jones, who voiced Mufasa, and Madge Sinclair, the voice of Sabari, played the African king and queen together in the 1988 Eddie Murphy comedy Coming to America. Now again, that's a really good film, so that's a really good film. You try that out. And again, here's a couple of facts about the animators that I thought should be in the same bracket. So here is 4A. 4A, it took more than 2 years to create the Stampede scene. According to the film's press notes, the 2.5-minute wildebeest stampede took Disney CGI animators more than 2 years to create, involving writing a new computer program to govern the movements of the herd. 4B, Disney's most important animators chose to work on Pocahontas instead. So The Lion King was actually made by the B team of Disney animators, since the A team had elected to focus on the picture they thought would be more successful, which was Pocahontas. And for C, the word SEX was not actually hiding in the background. So quite a few people thought that they saw the letters SEX in a dust cloud. So animators claimed that it was supposed to say SFX, and it was just meant to be kind of innocent and a nod to the art department, but we don't know. And number 5, The Lion King was the first Disney movie to feature an original storyline. So The Lion King has been billed as the first Disney animated film to feature a complete original storyline. That is, one that it was not adaptation of a pre-existing story. There are some individuals who dispute this claim, saying that this story took inspiration from Hamlet, The Kimber, The White Lion, and an animated series from the 1960s. So now we've got the facts. Let's do colouring. So the colouring. When it comes to colouring, I like to put the base colour down. So when I am talking about the base colour, I'm choosing the middle ground colour so I can add highlights and add shadows when need to add shadows and lighting. So we're working. I'm pretty sure I've done Rafiki, but I'm on to Scar. And what I like to do is I like to have the piece of the reference image that I'm trying to draw right next to where I'm drawing, so I don't get stuff confused in it, and I know exactly where I'm putting down the certain lights and darks and stuff like that. So we're on to Mufasa and one second. I'm gonna actually look up her name, so I'm making sure I'm saying it right. It's actually pronounced Sarabi. So I'm sorry, I've been pronouncing them all wrong. But yeah, so I'm on Sarabi and Mufasa. And I did, like I said, looking back on this now, I'm looking at it and thinking, oh my god, I could have done this so much better. But that's not right now. But I do like that this was the stepping stones to how I'm drawing now. So it allowed this. So these initial drawings was what let me play around with the tools and actually get used to working with the Sketchbook Pro app a bit more. So I'm really happy with what I've done. It's just looking back and I'm thinking I really want to redo it. So you might get another one of me redoing these ones, even if you've not commented it. But comment below if you would like to see other different ones. I'd love to do that. So beforehand, while I was doing the facts, you saw me do the background. Now the background in The Lion King is very... Oh, am I doing that now? I'm doing the background now. Sorry, I jumped. So, the background in The Lion King is very simple. It literally is just green fades to blue. I don't know. This isn't the favorite background. I have other backgrounds which are really good. This is just not one of them. But I do like my shading and the highlights that I've added to Scar and Simba. That's great. Like, that was a nice little touch that obviously the original animators did and I've just copied. But I'm trying to add some texture or kind of ruffles to the rock. Now, instead, you know what I would have done at this part? At this part, I'm using a spray tool. At this point, I would have tried to use some more of the different tools to actually create a different texture. It's a bit too smooth and the rock's not that smooth. But so yeah, so if you did want to try and do that, just try and mess around with different textures. That's cool. That'd be cool to do. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.